the charter with the team,
Right.
and it's a nice relationship. And then to see how the team kind of came together, I'm going to say in the middle of 2014, and they learned how to win. You started seeing signs of it in probably 2013. There were some special things that happened. I remember on the last game of 13, they had a grand slam, a walk-off grand slam to win that game, and you kind of felt like 14 had a chance to be something special, but it didn't start out great. I mean, it
Right.
wasn't like they had a great start to the season. I think they're about 500 after 100 games,
Right.
and but then they figured out how to win, and like unfortunately right now we're watching Royals, and it seems like they play good enough to lose a lot of
Right.
games. That was a team that learned how to win, and they play good enough to win a lot of games. And I think that's the stage that being a level away from the clubhouse and seeing it on a daily basis, you can tell when the team starts to gel. You can tell when they start playing as a team better and doing the little things to help the team win, as opposed to just trying to keep themselves in the major leagues playing as an individual.
Tell us about your family now, what they're doing.
Yeah. So my youngest daughter, Catherine, called Katie, she just moved back to Kansas City from Manhattan, Kansas, where she was a student at Kansas State University. She's going to do something in the restaurant industry. So she lives on her own. And then my next son, Spencer, he actually works for the Royals. He was able to get a job working for the Royals. He was actually on the TARP crew a couple of years in 2013 and 14. He has a World Series ring, as a matter of fact. So, and then he found his own job with the Royals through some kind of a website that they post all the jobs on. So people think I got him his job, but he got his own job, so that was good.
What's he do?
He's in stadium operations right
Okay.
now. So he's been with him for a couple of years. He's got his degree from St. Louis University in sports management. So
Okay.
he wants to be the general manager someday. So we'll see how that plays. Then my next son, Connor, he was at St. Louis University student as well. He's now a software engineer for Pinterest.
Okay.
And he's been working with Pinterest for about 7 years. One of their early hires. He was fortunate enough when they went public to be invited to go to Wall Street and celebrate with the main guys with Pinterest and be part of their celebration. So he actually works remotely. He worked in San Francisco, then New York, and then back to San Francisco. And about a year and a half ago, he was able to get an opportunity to work out of his house here in Kansas City. He's married to Mackenzie, and she's expecting a baby in August of this summer. So that'll be our third grandchild. Our older daughter, Ashley, she's married to Wes Stir. She has two children, Addison and Leo. Addison's 3 and Leo's 1. So we have 2 grandchildren, and like I say, have one on the way. So that really keeps us going. Really busy here at the Montgomery house, especially on the weekends. Kind of have a little bit of a tradition. All the kids come over on Sundays for dinner. So
that's great.
It works out really well. They love hanging out by our pool and just being part of a big family.
And Tina, what'd you say, 38 years?
We met 38 years ago, been married for over 35. She's been a stay-at-home mom. I guess she's a domestic engineer.
And a good one, obviously.
Yeah, she's done a great job. I think it's something that, there's a lot of misconception about, the glamour of being a professional athlete.
Right.
But we spent a lot of years just trying to scrape to get by. 5 years in the minor leagues, and then a couple years in the major leagues. You have to play for a while to accomplish financially, and but during that time you still have a lot of the stuff going on as a young player. Excuse me, and you have to find a way to get by. And if you don't have somebody good and strong able to run the household, it's a lot more difficult. And Tina did a great job.
Well, Jeff, your story is a great one, and it's also it's a perseverance type of story too, because you had to overcome things. Not that you didn't have success all along the way, as you chronicled, but you're not the biggest guy in the world, and you had to prove things to people all along the way. You must be proud of yourself.
Well, it's more satisfying, I think, when you have to work hard for something, and that's one thing that always, my dad had a saying for me. He said, He goes, good things happen to good people, especially those people who are persevering. But they also have to work their tails off while they're waiting. So he was always instrumental. And there were certainly times when there's doubt, there's uncertainties on whether you're going to make it or not. But my dad was always very, very helpful and helped me get through those times.
It's great to have that kind of backing. Jeff, it's been a pleasure. I enjoyed it very much, and much good luck to you. It doesn't seem like you need it, though.
Well, thanks, Danny. I appreciate the opportunity.
This podcast was made possible by our great sponsors like Easton Roofing, the presenting sponsor of Kansas City Profiles at the Danny Klingscale Reasonably Irreverent podcast. Easton Roofing, where integrity matters. We hope you enjoyed the latest Danny Klingscale Reasonably Irreverent podcast. Come back soon for something fresh and new.